Today we are going to discuss a remedy which is not so frequently prescribed in private practice, and the name of the remedy is Nux moschata. Nux moschata, as you all know, is prepared from Myristicaceae family. Everybody knows the kitchen use of nutmeg. Nutmeg is very common in our Indian kitchen as well as in European kitchen. So let us have some knowledge about this remedy from the homeopathic point of view. I am not going to discuss much about the introduction of this particular plant, but as far as I know, nutmeg was one of the very important hallucinogenic plant. Now, when you say hallucinogenic plant, means there should be a lot of dreaminess, and there should be a lot of sleepiness, and there should be a lot of hallucination and delirium and delusions, producing severe intoxications. And this may last for days together. And I was surprised that when I read T.F. Allen's Encyclopedia of Homeopathic Remedies, most of the symptomatology came from the poisoning of the people who have consumed either the nutmeg powder or who have consumed the powdered seed of nutmeg, and they developed chain of symptoms that were recorded by Allen, and that's how we got this kind of drug picture. The thing is that it produces severe narcoleptic properties. You will have to at some stage remember your medicine, what is narcolepsy, what is catalepsy, and what is sleepiness, and its relation to Nux moschata symptomatology. I'll try to refresh your memory later on, but right now I want you to understand it's one of the very important poisoning substance which produces not only narcoleptic type of symptomatology, but it produces reeling gait. R-E-E-L-I-N-G. Reeling means, unsteadiness, where you cannot balance and there is a tendency that you can fall down, or it can produce a state very similar to what we know as hangover. So when you drink a lot of alcohol and then next day morning you open your eyes and you get this feeling of hangover, or excessive delirium is another situation. And in some cases Allen reports even apoplexy. So that's very important. Now let us understand something more about the remedy from the image and archetypal properties, that with what you can compare this kind of situation. That's very important. And when I try to read the mental symptom, what I see is in the image as a sleeping seer. Sleeping seer. Now, who is a seer? A seer is a person, somebody who believes in supernatural powers, or who has supernatural insights, or who has got a supernatural visions. That is known as seer. And here I am talking about a sleeping seer. I think so. One such person that I remember comes from United States of America, and he was known as the sleeping prophet of America, and his name was Dr. Edgar Cayce. If you go to internet and read something about Edgar Cayce, I think so it resembles a lot about the picture or the image of Naqsh Moshtata. Let me tell you, we are still discussing the image and archetypes of Naqsh Moshtata. Another image that I think in my mind about Naqsh Moshtata is the dreaminess and euphoric person, but he is usually a wise man, sometimes hysteric, in a state of ecstasy, or the images of a narcolepsy. Who are these people? Very nervous. I would say nervous temperament. The word nervous temperament, I would say hysterical temperament, or I would say nervous hysterical type of temperament. So the combination. And Kent puts this remedy under the heading people who never perspire, who rarely perspire. And then Kent puts this remedy under useful for complaints of pregnancy. Now, how many of us use Naqsh Moshtata in pregnancy remains a big question, because it's not very easily prescribed. But today I am going to show you from my experience that yes, we can use this remedy a lot. Another very important area that has come to my mind for what kind of person we usually think of Naqsh is the old people with digestive problem. So very old people with dyspepsia or weakness related to old age. So you can talk about weakness related to old age without any major sickness. So that's very important, that without any major sickness. So if I have to overall look at all the mental symptoms related to Naqsh Moshtata, I would first begin with the dreamy state, the absent-mindedness, especially absent-mindedness when reading or when trying to concentrate something, or absent-mindedness immediately after waking. So the patient opens the eyes in the morning and he's feeling so dazed, oh, what is there around me? I don't understand. It takes some few moments, Or there can be a periodical short attacks of absent-mindedness in a fraction of a second. Now many times people come to my clinic for epilepsy treatment, and many times they record the video and show it to me. And then the patient says, doctor, observe this video very carefully because it comes for a fraction of a second. Otherwise it looks very normal. The moment they say like that, the remedy in my mind that is registered already is Naqsh Moshtata. So it's a very good remedy for salam epilepsy or so that fraction of a second. Now where will you look this rubric in the repertory? Because it's tough. I tried many times. There is nothing like fraction of a second, 1 second, short time, nothing. Took me many years to understand this situation. The exact answer is absent-mindedness, epileptic convulsions. So this is very important. Absent-mindedness, epileptic convulsions. You can look either in the before or either you can during, whatever rubric is available you can take. And then it's a sort of absorbed, these people are quite absorbed. So this is the main reason why I'm talking about this state, which And then these people whom you meet, when you talk with them, the answer takes very long time. So you ask them a question, where do you live? And they will say, let me think, I'll tell you. And then maybe after some time they will. So answers reflecting long, or answers slowly, or unable to answer. So this is very, very important. Now, sometimes back I just mentioned to you that it is one of the very useful remedy during pregnancy. But does anybody know the emotional aspect of pregnancy? No. Let me tell you. Naksh Moschata is a very important remedy for disappointment in love. Nobody knows. We don't think, we don't use. But because of being disappointment in love, when they become pregnant, they become very angry. If you look at the rubric or the repertory, anger pregnancy during, I think so there is only one remedy, Naksh Moschata. So either they were cheated, there was a grief, there was a disappointment in love, or I would use the word mental shock. So sometimes even mental shock can be a causative factor in cases where you get this kind of situation. In fact, most of the causative factor of Naksh Moschata comes from anger, vexation, fright, sorrow. Most important, if you ask me, unhappy love. Unhappy love, disappointment in love. And most of the ailments in Naksh Moschata comes during pregnancy. So please, if you are not aware, so far from today, you will think of Naksh Moschata in pregnancy, especially when there are emotional problems. Suppression of menses with hormones is another very important causative factor. So that's important also. And Naksh Moschata is a friend of alcohol. They love alcohol like Naksh Vomica. And that is why many complaints occur after alcohol, especially beer. If you look under the rubric foods and drinks, generalities, and if you look under beer, and if you look below beer, bad beer, you will see Naksh Moschata. So this is how, so this is the kind of person that we were talking about. And then, as I mentioned to you about these people, that they are dreamy and they are seekers or sleeping seekers or seers, you will see clairvoyance a very important rubric, because this is how they predict. So clairvoyance comes as an important situation. But at the same time, they have this confused, sleepy, delirious state where they really don't know who they are, whether this is a reality or non-reality. So confusion related to identity, lot of intoxication, and then while reading, lot of sleepiness, unable to know what is the exact time and where is the exact space, where they are, what is the time, what is the date, what is the month. That brings you very close to post-epileptic situations, post-apoplectic situations, and even confusion during pregnancy. If you look at the rubric, you will see Naksh Moschata. So Naksh has got lot of confusion of mind with difficult concentration, with abstract of mind, with absence of mind. And then there's a typical delirium. And delirium is always accompanied by sopor or sleepiness, always. And sometimes it can be hysterical, so maybe a wild delirium, but delirium mostly in my experience has to come from alcohol. So you will see delirium tremens as a rubric, And then if you examine the delusion, there's a lot of enlargement in the delusion. So things are enlarged, body is enlarged, distances are enlarged, head is enlarged. And there is an out of body experiences. So here again you will come to euphoric state, where you will see out of body experience. Things have changed. Things have changed. And then floating in the air. Now this floating in the air comes in many milk remedies also, as you all know. And what is floating means you are not grounded, no? And when you are not grounded, you have a very poor sense of ego, and that is why you are floating. Everything is in the air. There is not much reality. That kind of delusions you will see. And then strange everything seems. Everything is so new. I have never seen before. Especially the familiar things seem strange. Now this is very important, because there was once upon a time a familiarity, and this familiarity has been traumatized by disappointment in love or anger or grief or cheating or something like that. And that is why now the person is totally behaving in a strange way, because to a familiar thing. I don't want to look at you. I don't know who you are. I don't know. Something like that. That attitude. Because the person has been. So this is important. And sometimes this can lead to what is known as suicidal situation. Now this is all as far as all adults are concerned. But in children, this kind of sleepiness, this kind of inattentiveness, this kind of not able to concentrate, this kind of confusion is a hallmark of a condition what is known as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So think of this remedy also in a pediatric way, as if they are in a dream or dullness. But everything has to come with reading, everything has to come with studying, and that is why children who have problems with study, children who have got problems with the school are the best available conditions to select Nux moschata as a remedy, especially when there is a dullness accompanied by sleepiness. So all the time they want to sleep, all the time. And even if you look at the rubric dullness while writing, I think so there are only 7-8 remedies in that rubric. One of them will be Nux moschata. And then these people have got tremendous fear. Now in child you may have fear of darkness, which is very common, but in adult you will see a lot of fear of death. In fact, the person is so afraid to, trying to sleep, because the moment he feels I'll go to sleep, he will feel that I'm going to die. Or fear of paralysis is another very important thing. Forgetfulness also accompanies the memory problem and memory issues. So forgets the street, forgets the building, forgets the object, especially after making purchases. Person doesn't remember many things, so that's very important. The overall persona of Nux moschata, persona is what he projects to the world, may appear usually very lively and bright and happy and laughing and very sensitive and sensual and amorous. So these are all the words I can use for their persona. But unfortunately, these kind of persona that they project only goes by the feeling and not by the reason. And that makes them hysterical. Because when you show something to the world, there has to be some reason. Nakshmoshchata does not have a reason. And that is why they just go by the feeling, what comes in their heart, they immediately project. And that is why they live in their own world. They live in their own world with their own creations. And that is why they are absorbed in their fantasies and fancies. And that is why these persons need love. They need appreciation. If you love them, if you appreciate them, they can still come out of their situation. They can still come out of their personal, own created world and live in reality and accept the reality. So physical contact like hugging, holding, that will deviate their attention from their own inner world. That is the main problem in Nakshmoshchata, that they are typically unloved. And that is why they go into their own world of creation. And that is how they express themselves from their own sensation. And there is no reason to project that kind of feelings to the outside world. So when they suffer from disappointment in love, the outside projection can be still very cheerful and still very happy, something like what you see in agrimony. But this cheerfulness will not last for long, because that will alternate with sadness at some point. They are not martyr like Carcinosin, that they will absorb the grief. Natramute can absorb the grief, but then Natramute can become also hysterical by laughing on serious matters. But Nux instead tries to alternate between the seriousness, number one, and number two, what is known as the laughing. And this all comes from that they have been emotionally traumatized. So this depression, sadness, disappointment becomes a very important shadow aspect of Nakshmoshchata, whereas what he projects in a way of persona, that is happy, merry, dancing, singing, making jokes, behaving in a frivolous way, that's the real persona. So this shadow keeps on projecting intermittently in their life, by their facial expression, by their body language, by their gestures. Let me quote some 4 lines from Herring's guiding symptom. The outer world had no existence for her. Automatically she attended to her house and mid duties. And on waking from this condition, she had not the slightest recollection of what she had done. Absent of mind, short period. This is what Herring writes, and which I quoted for you. Does not know where he or she, doesn't know how to answer, never accomplishes what he undertakes, cannot think, great indifference to everything. Now this is nothing but a shadow side, sadness, totally indifferent. And this will sooner or later affect the memory. Now here you come across another remedy, Helleborus, which also has a strong tendency to destroy your mind, especially memory after disappointment in love. Again, Helleborus is not so frequently prescribed in our day-to-day practice for disappointment in love, but I would request you to read this because I have used this information very successfully, and then only I am trying to discuss this with you all. So what happens is that over a period of years, Naksh Moschata has a great incoherency on attempting to express their ideas. They do their routine work, they do their routine duty, but it is all in a dream. They cannot express their hurts very easily. And that is why they are so much in a dreamy state that they may not be able to recognize a childhood friend. They may not be able to recognize their first cousins, because that dreamy state will come in and there is a conflict. Reality between the dreamy state, reality and dreamy state. Sometimes I am in reality, sometimes I am in a dreamy state. I want to live in reality. That's what we human beings have to do. But unfortunately, the curtain falls of dreaminess, and that is why there is a fight between the inner world and outside world. The inner world is the world within the heart of the Naksh Moschata person, and that is why the biggest daydreamers, the president of the Daydreamers Club is Naksh Moschata. So they try to withdraw from the reality and enter the what is known as the dream world. And they want to go to sleep for long periods and live in the dream world, and they are completely unconscious about the reality. And that is the real reason why you see so much vertigo in the life of Naksh Moschata. Because when you have so much hurt and so much disappointment from the real world, then what will happen to you? You want to close your eyes. You don't want to see the world. And that is exactly what happens, that you are insecure, you become staggering. Staggering comes in a very big way. You develop what is known as vertigo, as if you are floating in the air, or it's a vertigo with a railing gait or swaying gait. You sway from left to right and right to left. So all these situations are very important because imbalance comes at the level of mind, because you are not stable, you are not walking on a solid ground, because you keep on alternating yourself between the real world and the inner world. But they try to keep up their mask of being happy and cheerful. But once the ego will lose the control, the mask will fall down. And once the mask falls down from the face of Naksh Moschata, hysteria will come up. So it's very important. There is a conflict, but they want to keep up a brave face. This brave face is nothing but a mask of being happy and nice and sweet and lively. But then sometimes the mask goes down because the ego is not able to control keeping the mask up all the time, and that is why hysterical complexes comes up. T.F. Allen describes the best hysteria of Naksh Moschata, and the first line which T.F. Allen writes is laughing at everybody. Laughing when they go in open air, laughing in the streets, standing in the corner of the street and laughing at everybody. Looks like an idiot. Felt much better when the prover was brought back into the house. So in the proving, exactly same thing happened. There was a prover who ran out of the room. After running out of the room, went outside the building, stand in the corner, laughing at people, behaving foolishly. Finally, he had to be brought home. So, trying to do some extravagant acts or ridiculous acts, and then next day the same brewer felt very bad that I did this. So that chagrin, the feeling of chagrin comes very fast in such people. And then they say that I cannot control my action, I don't know what exactly happens to me now. Here you should combine anacardium, because in anacardium also, when they become violent, when they bite somebody, when they pinch hurt somebody, they will tell the mother, "Mummy, I really don't know what happens to me at that time. Why should I bite my brother? I really don't know, Mummy." When a child talks like that, the child is basically talking about anacardium state. So sometimes, if I have to think, this remedy resembles the word ostrich, as far as I feel. Because what happens to ostrich? There is something what is known as passing out. Whenever any problem arises, many people pass out. They don't want to look at reality, so they cover their face. Ostrich is one such bird. They will close their eyes and put their beak into the sand or in the ground whenever there is a sense of danger. So instead of facing the danger, instead of attacking the danger, they create this stagnant and an absurd situation. So playing like an ostrich is a phrase in English language which typically resembles the psychology of a Nux moschata person. Basically, as I said, when they wear a mask, they look quite normal, but their talks are not very sensible, honestly. So the talk is usually wandering, never with the same topic, changes the topic, and then there is not much wisdom in their talk, not much reasoning in their talk. Usually a loud voice, so Nux moschata people. And then while talking, they make lot of mistakes. They forget the word in the middle of the sentence. They have inability to connect two thoughts together. So this is the problem that they usually face. Now, let us understand something more. The depression and melancholia, because Nux moschata is also a very important remedy for melancholia. In this melancholia, they think darkness around them, everything is black, the whole world is black, and they cannot go to sleep because there are so many thoughts that disturb them. They start crying and they keep on asking where I am, who I am. In fact, they forget who they are. So sudden vanishing of the memory, sudden vanishing of the thought processes happens when they are severely depressed. Now all these things which I have just mentioned to you about Nux moschata, let us see what will be the effect on the physical body, because effect on physical body is also equally important. So let us start with digestion. So with this kind of melancholia, depression, historical phenomena, the first thing that I see is in the stomach where they get excessive bloating. And here comes the delusion of enlargement. So this excessive bloating, there's a very nice rubric in Nakshmoshchata, distension of abdomen after any contradiction. Nakshmoshchata is a 2-mark remedy. If you open the repertory and check it, you will see this. Then another very important sensation is distension of the abdomen after any excitement, like argentum. You know that argentum also has this severe distension. Or nausea. Now see, there's a very nice thing. Nausea on touching one's lip, you will see Nakshmoshchata. Now you touch the lip. Does anybody know the next remedy, which is same, is cadmium sulf. Cadmium sulf also has this, because I use it in my cancer patients, cadmium. So I know this. So when you touch the lip, you start developing nausea and pressing pain in the stomach during before menses. And I think so during menses there is excessive and copious flatulence. So these are some of the digestive things that you will see. Excessive dryness in the mouth and throat. That's very important. So now if you look at the, as I said, in the head, there is a very nice feeling. Head is separated from the body. Now this is dissociation, no, in psychological language, where the head is totally cut off from the body. Even though Nux is not a very important remedy in this rubric, but still it is 1 mark, so that needs, so this dissociation is only there because the person is extremely depressed and wants to come out of this situation. So better I leave the body from my head. So now I have no stress. Now there is no depression. So this kind of dissociation is very important to understand. Another very important thing of physical aspect on the mind is strabismus. Strabismus with any anxiety, strabismus with any fear, strabismus with any excitement. If you look under the chapter of I and remove the rubric strabismus, look for following statements: anxiety, fear, mental emotions, or any emotions. The hearing is also very characteristic, like Crocus sativus. The hearing is diminished before thunderstorm. I have never heard this, but these are all some of the funniest and the best symptoms that I have seen in my practice. Or another very important thing that I have seen in my practice is severe migraine better by heart pressure. Now see, magnesium is a group of remedy, bryonia is a group of remedy where you get heart pressure, but one of the best remedy also for heart pressure, migraine, and all migraines are with sleepiness. So that's very important. Everybody knows great dryness of the mouth, so it is used for Sjogren syndrome. Tongue adheres to the roof of the mouth, correct? With thirstlessness, no desire for water. Saliva seemed like a cotton without actual dryness of the tongue. Now this situation, okay, you can look under Sjogren's, but the most important to me is the radiation. Radiation to the face, head and neck produces this kind of pathology. It's produces because the salivary gland gets burned with radiation, and that is why you get this kind of situation. With totally no saliva. The dryness of the pharynx. It is so dry that the whole pharynx and the throat feel stiff but no thirst, and the concomitant is excessive bloating of the stomach. After eating, the bloating becomes 10 times more worse. but while eating, the distension is satisfied. So while eating, everything is better. Diarrhea comes in summer and from cold drinks. It's one of the best remedy for diarrhea after drinking boiled milk. Good remedy for diarrhea with dentition, good remedy for diarrhea with pregnancy. Again, the concomitant is sleepiness and fainting with diarrhea. And it has got an alumina-like symptoms. Soft stool but constipated. Now, if I have to diagnose nux moschata in a female, the first question is what happens during menses? What happens before menses? And the throat and mouth becomes dry. If that is the answer, this is one of the best remedy. Menses are always irregular in time and quantity. They get severe backache during menses, or they can have leukorrhea in place of menses, or they can pass lot of flatulence from vagina. During pregnancy, excessive nausea and vomiting can come. So that's another. Then coughing during pregnancy. But most important is no sweat. Dry skin, and everything else is dry, like bryonia. Dry eyes, dry nose, dry lips, dry mouth, dry tongue, dry throat. So this is important. And the muscles, the muscles of the patient are very flabby, soft. Then we go into what is known as the convulsion. To understand the type of convulsion, you go to the rubric under generals. Generals convulsion when aroused from a trance. That's the rubric. Now, I don't think the word trance comes in repertory so frequently. But there is a rubric when aroused from the trance. That means from aroused from a deep sleep or a deep thinking. So you can see that. Numbness, better by touch. So that is a numbness, better by touch. So that's also very important to know. Amongst the food habits, the one which I know very well is desire nutmeg itself. So desire for nutmeg, but the common thing that which I look for in my practice, spicy. Nux moschata like nux because they're friends, they're both brothers and sisters. Pungent, chilies, alcohol, stimulants, brandy, coffee. These are the nux moschata cravings. Worse, as I have told you, the beer, cold drinks, and they are always better by eating warm, something very warm. And it is the one of the first remedy that I learned in my practice, because when you practice, you learn so many things from patients. Even today, after 40 years of practicing homeopathy, I learn every day from my patients, from my students, from my teachers, from everybody. In fact, I keep on just learning. So, everybody comes and tells me, I can't eat spicy, I can't eat spicy, I can't eat spicy. And one fine day I thought, tell me some people in this society who eat spicy and they feel better. I don't get that patience in my practice, who comes and tells me, I eat spicy food and I am better. So I thought, let me imagine that there is a patient, and I opened the repertory and nux moschata was the remedy. So this is what I can say about now, according to me, nux moschata mind comes very close to cannabis indica. So if you want to compare the state, I think so both remedies have got absent-mindedness, confusion, out of body experience, delusion of being enlarged, delusion about familiar things seem strange. Both remedies have got distances exaggerated. Both remedies have got as if in a dream state. Both remedies have got forgetfulness. You will see laughing also in both the remedies. Memory problems, what they had said, what they are going to say, making mistakes in time and space, vanishing of thoughts. All these symptoms indicate that unconsciousness. So these are common symptoms of cannabis. Now, how do we differentiate them? So make two columns if you want to make two columns. On the left, Nux moschata, on the right, cannabis. So first thing in cannabis which is never there in Nux is creativity. Cannabis is artistic, very creative. Now because of so much disappointment in love, celibacy is very strong in Nux moschata but not in cannabis. Alcoholism is extremely strong in Nux moschata but not in cannabis. Clairvoyance is very common in Nux moschata but not in cannabis. All the rubric related to confusion, where he loses his way in well-known street, this is there in Nux moschata. Delusion of grandeur is in cannabis. Delusion of music is in cannabis. Cannabis is more eccentric. Nux is not eccentric. Fear of impending death is strongest in cannabis. Sudden fear is strongest in cannabis. But hysterical fainting is in Nux. Hysteria with respiratory complaint is with Nux. Nux moschata is lascivious, laughing loudly, and always late. Sense of orientation and recognizing is strong in Nux moschata, not in cannabis. Spaced out feeling is in Nux moschata and not in cannabis. So now, as I said in the beginning, that you should know little difference between narcolepsy and you should also know what is his relationship with his Nux moschata. So narcolepsy is basically a sleep disorder. You put narcolepsy under sleep disorder, where somebody wants to sleep during the day and may involuntarily fall asleep in normal activities. So the boundary between being awake and being sleepy is very blurred in narcolepsy. But in catalepsy, the additional feature which is not there in narcolepsy is the paralysis. In catalepsy, you see muscle paralysis, especially occurring during waking hours. So suddenly there is a loss of muscle tone. Now here you do see that in Nux moschata also. So Nux has got a minor catalepsy but a major narcolepsy. And there is a substance known as hypocretin in your brain. If you lack hypocretin in your brain, you are prone to develop narcolepsy and catalepsy. So that much difference you should know. Otherwise, this is the best remedy. Modern medicine can only give you some very strong drugs to control that. But I feel Nux moschata is the best remedy for this kind of a situation, and I hope you enjoyed this short and small presentation of Nux moschata. Thank you so much.